WAKR.
93.5, 1590 WAKR, 17 minutes in front of 8 o'clock. Good morning and welcome to those streaming and watching us on WAOH television at WAOH.TV. You can watch us there in the morning. Matter of fact, joining us live in studio coming up next hour. So looking forward to Jim Clark joining us. And Jim, of course, household name of the Akron area. He has broadcast Arrows Rubber Ducks games for 30 years. 3,500 games. He's called them and brought them to us. Jim's joining us in the studio coming up in just a little bit. Looking forward to talking a little bit of baseball and how it all began with Jim, and a gigantic sports fan. That's coming up in studio in just a little bit. Joining us live right now on WAKR, as I mentioned, is Laura McElrath. Laura is the VP of Operations and Race Director at our Akron Marathon on Saturday. And Laura, let's start right there with the race itself. The course is so well designed to show off our great city in every aspect, from central, south, north, east, and west.
Yeah, the course is really designed to highlight the entire city of Akron. So we start right in downtown Akron in front of the Akron Art Museum, and then we try to take the course into each of those different directions. We go into North Akron, come back through the University of Akron, down into South Firestone area, and then come back down through downtown Akron. And then our full marathoners will take the towpath trail out to Sand Run Parkway, and then through the West Akron neighborhoods, and then back to downtown for the finish.
Yeah, I used to love, when I was running the relays, I used to love the towpath leg of the relay. That's the one that I always tended to take, and I think it was like 6.2 miles maybe back then. Not sure what it is now, but that was such a beautiful part of the relay. So with that being said, talk about the course for those doing the half marathon and then the relay spots for those runners in the relay, Laura.
Yeah, so the half marathon will follow the full marathon course for the first 11 and a half miles or so. So the half marathoners will see, again, North Akron. They'll head back through campus, down to Firestone Park. When they come back to downtown, they'll actually hop on the sidewalks through the University of Akron, so they'll get a close-up tour of the university. And then they will finish in downtown Akron, right outside of Canal Park Stadium this year. For the relay runners, that is separated takes the full marathon course and separates it into 5 different relay legs. So the first relay leg will see North Akron. They're going to make their exchange right there on campus at the university. The second leg is going to head south out to Firestone Park. The third leg is going to hit that towpath trail, like you had talked about. Fourth leg gets to hit Sand Run Parkway and the West Akron neighborhoods. And then the fifth leg, we'll take it home. We'll get to run through Stan Hewitt. We'll come down Portage Path, down Market through Highland Square, and then into the finish.
With us this morning is Laura McElrath, VP of Operations, Race Director for the Akron Marathon. So now let's go to the start of the race, just so people maybe first time, haven't done it before, or maybe a refresher. Talk about downtown in the beginning of this race and what people should anticipate.
Yeah, so the race starts at 7 a.m. We are encouraging everyone to be downtown and parked by 6 a.m. so they can get to the start line by about 6:30. Use the restroom, hop in the corrals. It's going to start right in front of the Akron Art Museum. The corrals will start just south of Market Street and extend all the way back to Bowery Street. So it's a couple of streets worth of just holding corrals of the runners before the start.
And just so people understand, the corrals were put in, almost 10 years ago now, because it was such a bottleneck at the beginning. And now you put the racers in the corrals depending on speed. Is that correct?
That's correct. We will put a little wave on the runner's bib, and it's based on their anticipated finish time. So we'll have 6 waves at the start, and we'll release each wave about every 2 minutes. So that just gives a little bit more space for the runners as they start their race to get on pace quicker.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that was a good move those years ago. So, Laura, let's now go to the finish of the race right out there in front of Canal Park, which is always full of pageantry, and you guys do a great job with the finish of the race. Talk about that aspect.
Yeah, so this is going to be a new finish line location for us. There's construction happening at Lock 3, so we moved to the finish line south about 0.2 of a mile. So we'll finish on Main Street outside of Canal Park Stadium. The runners will get their water and their medals, and then they'll exit into the large parking lots there. And then we're going to have a parking lot party with some food trucks. We'll have the band out there. We'll have the food tent, medal engraving. We'll have games and tables and seating for all the runners to just enjoy their post-race experience.
Laura, let me ask you this. With you doing the race overview and race director, let's talk about the beginning again. And I know from being down there, it is crowded all galore and trying to find parking spaces and everything. Give us a timeline of what you envision for Saturday morning for the runners to try to get down there, and then what time does the pageantry start for the beginning of the race?
So the music will start at the start line as early as 5 a.m. for the early risers. If you want to come on downtown early, get parked, come to the start line. Music will start at 5. Announcements will start at 5:30, and then we'll continue those all the way up to the start at 7. But we do highly encourage everyone to be parked by 7 a.m. For an on-time arrival at the start line for the 7 a.m. start.
All right, so the race starts at 7, and I know in the past when I used to run sometimes the first relay, I would get down there. Laura, I would be down there by 6 o'clock, me personally, because I don't like to cut things short because you're going to have almost 10,000 people there in downtown Akron Saturday morning.
Yes, it will be very full and exciting.
That's for sure. Well, listen, anything else that you wanted to cover with us this morning pertaining to the race itself, the information you wanted to get out?
I think just for all the runners, if you are running in the race, read through the final instructions that are located on our website. And for any spectators or those in the city, we do have all the road closures on our website, akronmarathon.org. And we also put those road closures in the Waze app. So if they're trying to get around the city on race morning, they can use the Waze app to try to navigate through those road closures.
All right, Laura, thank you for the time and the visit. Good luck. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful morning to run on Saturday morning. So thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Laura McElrath with us, VP of Operations Race Director with the Akron Marathon, now in its 20 years of this marathon. Blue line finishers over $170,000, and the marathon locally has raised over $6 million for nonprofits. This has been such a win for the greater Akron area. 9